last week.
We literally have 5 more days, including today. But as Black Americans, we should be celebrating Black history every day.
Absolutely. 365,
Absolutely.
for sure. Today's show is being brought to you by
Super Fit Health and Wellness, where we help make fitness a lifestyle.
JTJ Life Coaching Services. Reach out when you are ready for a positive change in your life.
Be Fresh Exquisite Trends, where we find all of the hottest trends in fashion and accessories.
Phenomenal Black Woman Incorporated, the organization that helps you smile, support, motivate, inspire, love, and encourage. Please connect with us if you have or know of a business that would like to sponsor the show. So, the national days for today. And we are also going to kind of hip you all on what's been happening in the past, like last week, and what's coming up this week, and what we are celebrating today. So, what is our first national day, Marshawn?
It's Kuwait National Day, which is a day that marks the country's independence from British protectorate in 1961. The day is marked by national pride and festivities with parades, cultural performances, and fireworks displays that lighten up the skies.
Yeah, she hit y'all with a word, protectorate.
Yeah, that first sentence, I don't even know what I was saying.
Yeah.
Independence from the British protectorate.
Yep.
What is that?
Kuwait National Day. All right, well, to all the Kuwaiti people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's y'all day.
Yeah.
It is also National Chocolate Covered Nut Day.
That's a day I need to celebrate. I love
you like
nuts
chocolate covered
with chocolate. Yes.
Okay.
I love chocolate on mine.
I used to like it more as a kid than I do now. And I don't know why.
My favorite candy bar is a Snicker. Anybody that know me, Snicker.
I bought my son. It's like a yard. It's like, I don't know how long it is, but it was like the huge box that I had to carry out of the Target, like under my arm, because they didn't have a bag for it. But it was filled with Snickers.
He got some left?
Yes, he does. I guess he was like, Ma, I'm not going to eat all this candy. So it's Snickers at the house.
That's my favorite. And they got ice cream Snickers.
Yeah,
oh my
he
goodness.
likes that too.
Oh my goodness, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Anything with chocolate cover. So I need to go celebrate today.
All
Today
right.
will be a cheat day because I didn't eat much today.
All right. What else we got?
It is National Pistol Patent Day.
Whoa.
So that's a day that's observed to commemorate the day that Samuel Colt received the patent for the revolver all the way back in 1835. And on this day, we look at the life and times of the far-sighted genius, Samuel Colt.
I have never shot a gun before. I want to learn how to shoot.
Have I?
Oh, we have a class here in March. I want to learn how to shoot. So I'm sign me up for that class. I'm going.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I ever shot a gun before. I barely touched one, but I've touched one before. But
yeah, I definitely want to learn.
Yeah,
You don't trust yourself.
I don't.
I definitely want to learn. Oh, this is not my day. I mean, it could be. It could be. It is National Quiet Day.
I want to tell them at work tomorrow. It's National Quiet Day. Please don't talk to me. We're celebrating.
Quiet Day is about taking a pause and appreciating the sound of silence. Noise is everywhere. Be it on the train, in the office, when you go out, noise is everywhere. And so to have National Quiet Day where we just take some time to not make any noise, I love it. I love it. And noise, as I've gotten older, noise has started to bother me so much more.
It does. It does.
Little noises. I'm like,
it should be like, Marshawn, do you have to do that right now?
So, thank goodness for National Quiet Day. I'm going to appreciate that.
For our soup lovers out there, it is National Clam Chowder Day.
Look at my face.
It's a day about celebrating the history of this beloved fish stew. Why is your face looking like that?
Fish stew? The sound of that sounds disgusting.
But I believe it has potatoes in it, and then it has the clam. I mean, I've grown to like it. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but I've tasted it before, and it was decent.
I don't even know. I may have tasted it. My grandmother probably used to eat it back in the day, but yeah, it wasn't anything that I found to be exciting.
Oh,
yeah. All right, moving on from National Clam Chowder Day. Yesterday, Marshawn didn't even know she could have celebrated. Yesterday, February 24th, was National Bartender Day. All right, so the bartender might just be about everybody's favorite person, right? Because this is the person mixing up the fabulous drinks we have when we go out. Bartenders keep us well supplied with tasty beverages, and usually with alcohol. So we love the bartenders.
Shameless plug, hire me for your parties, bar mitzvahs, weddings, funerals. This summer I do private parties.
She was our bartender at my husband's soiree.
Yes.
So,
and we had a blast.
We had a ball.
Jungle juice.
Everybody was loving the drinks. So
Tuesday, the 27th, is the Big Breakfast Day, which is often called the most important meal of the day, my favorite meal of the day. And it gets its name from the idea of breaking the natural fast or time of not eating that happens overnight. Break fast.
I did not. I mean, I knew I would. I taught my students how to spell the word because of the two words, but because it's not pronounced that way, so they used to always say breakfast was a compound word, and I'm like, it is. However, it's just one of those tricky words that once you put it together, they lose their individual words.
And that's Tuesday, so I want to make sure I have some breakfast. I wonder because McDonald's has a breakfast called the Big Breakfast, so hopefully they'll have that on sale. But yeah, so Tuesday, make sure you have some breakfast to celebrate National Breakfast Day.
Yes.
My favorite meal of the day.
Now this one I could possibly celebrate right here. Wednesday is February 28th. It's going to be National Public Sleeping Day.
And how you gonna celebrate that?
I mean, if they saying we can sleep in public,
I can't even sleep in the car, let alone in public.
I could find somebody. Got find my husband right now. He will tell you I could fall asleep in public.
We don't want to go back to our earlier shows, but I have trust issues, and I don't trust being asleep in public because I don't trust.
I mean, not if I'm alone, probably not. But
like people fall asleep on the train. Like, how do you do that?
I could probably do that.
And I've been on the train before and been like dog dead tired, like
try
because train in Chicago.
Well, I get that. I mean, there's a safety issue there. Yes,
but no, I just can't. Even like if let's just say I was at a meeting or something or at a thing, I literally cannot just fall asleep.
We've been at the basketball games and I have fallen asleep.
Now I've been dozing off at a game before, but I ain't never finna go to sleep because I don't want people sticking stuff in my ears or I have trust issues. I can't trust nobody.
I could probably
outside of people that I know that respect my sleep.
I'm just saying.
Like if we'd have spent the night at that when we did that sleep under, I probably wouldn't have slept at all. Yeah. I really have a hard time sleeping at hotels anyway.
Oh, I don't. That's when I get my best sleep.
Remember when we went to Atlanta?
No. But no, you slept, sis.
Well, the second day. Because remember, the first night I slept, I was up all night.
You slept.
The second night. Because my body made me go to sleep.
Because I was sitting there like, well, we ain't going to even go out eating because this girl... You were knocked out, and then you woke up like, I'm hungry.
Remember the night before that? I didn't go to sleep at all. I was literally up 4 hours. I don't know why I do that to myself at this age, but my body will force itself to sleep. Okay, and tomorrow, it's my turn?
Yes.
National Tell a Fairy Tale Day. It's about exploring myths. Some people do this every day anyway. They tell fairy tales. And it's about exploring the myths and stories old and new, from grim tales to urban legends, and tapping the dark corners of your subconscious and see what you find. So those people out there who tell fairy tales all the time, it's your day on tomorrow. Just, don't try to lie too hard. I
guess we could possibly, go back into our childhood and figure out some of those fairy tales that we grew up listening to or learning about. But yeah, exploring myths and stories. Well, yeah, some people do live in that world every day.
Absolutely, they lie every day until fairy tales.
They live in a world of myths and stories.
Absolutely.
All right, this coming week, Thursday, is February 29th. It's leap year day. So we all know leap year day is a free day. So they're describing it as this free day that we get every 4 years and we use this, we're supposed to use this free day to catch up or slow down or somehow prepare ourselves for another 4 years of chaos. I don't know, but.
And if it's your birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to all the leap year babies.
You'll get another one for 3 more years from now.
So they do celebrate on February 28th, I assume. Yeah, you said last week they could celebrate on February 28th or March 1st.
Right.
They get to choose.
My friend's mother growing up was born on the 29th, and she had that. So they used to always say, my mama only 10 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny. Yeah, they have to get a year older, of course. They just don't get a day to celebrate. That's so crazy.
Absolutely.
All the people. I think there was a student that I had, and her little brother, I think, is a leap year baby. So he gets to celebrate his birthday this year.
It just doesn't make sense to me, because I heard that they were talking about just keeping that day on the calendar. But, why do we have that every 4 years? What? It's just weird to me. That's a
wonderful question, and I have no answer for it.
And I hate that I be digging, trying to figure out why certain things, and I can't.
No, I think it's a good why. I think that's a fair why. Why do we have this?
Because we've just been accepting it, but why do we have this one extra day? Right. Just add it to the calendar and let's just keep it moving.
So we 365, but this year we 366.
Weird.
Okay. Yeah, it is. That's a little bit, yeah. And I don't think I may have questioned it before, but you just live with it, right? Well, shout out to actress, writer, and producer Rashida Jones, who is celebrating a birthday today. I believe she is turning 48 today. Rashida Jones is the daughter of Quincy Jones. Don't know who her mom is though, because Quincy
was not Rashida from.
Quincy is a Rolling Stone.
Housewives.
No, Quincy got a couple kids by a couple different people, so I'm not sure who Rashida's mother is.
You putting them out there like that?
What is it?
Peggy Lipton.
Peggy Lipton. Because he got kids with Diana, right?
No.
He doesn't have kids with Diana Ross.
Diana Ross has a baby by Berry Gordy.
Berry Gordy. I got them mixed up. My bad, Quincy.
You probably still got some with her.
Right.
It probably is still true. It's just not with Diana.
Just not with Diana. But that's Berry Gordy, right? Okay. Well, I think Berry got some kids with other people. Well, you know what? Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. So we also know that in February we are celebrating National Black History Month. I am the assistant principal, currently interim principal, at a school where the student population is predominantly white, but I have been trying to sprinkle a little of Black history into their lives. And
how does that go?
It has.
I couldn't do that. I'm not gonna say I couldn't do that. It would be a challenge.
It has actually gone pretty well.
With kids, it should be okay because you're elementary, but
yeah,
they receiving it pretty well.
They are.
Are they asking weird questions?
No.
Okay.
It's funny though. They do, no matter when we do our Black History Month trivia, no matter which woman I put up, and I use the historical pictures and images that we have, but no matter who I put up, they tell me it's Rosa Parks.
They think everybody Rosa Parks.
And I told them, I said, look, everybody is not Rosa Parks. Cut it out. So tell the truth, Rosa Parks. Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks. No. But so, we kind of laugh about it now, but they're learning. They're learning.
Good. Is this the first time that they ever learned that since you've been there?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I would have to say yes to that.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, they know Barack Obama. They know Dr. King. So we're gonna keep teaching. We're gonna keep teaching and learning. So we are also this month celebrating National Children's Dental Health Month. We told you all last week, and we're gonna tell you again this week. Make sure your baby breath don't stink. Get them to the dentist. Make sure they are flossing and brushing properly. It is super important.
She's very aggressive with that statement, so she means that.
I mean it.
Don't be bringing your kids to school with stank breath.
Listen, let me just say, I used to douse my children in things that smelled good because I knew the difficulty of a child coming up to you, wanting something from you, needing something from you, and you couldn't give it to them because their breath or their body stank. It's just so hard.
What was that I was watching? I think it was a Instagram or this teacher who
That's real life.
When she was saying that she kept a towel, soap, toothpaste, and extra toothbrushes in her drawer because when kids had that issue, she would just go wash them off or tell them to do it.
Yes.
But I understood the struggle. I think it was a TikTok or something, but the lady was saying the struggle as a teacher. No, it was a TED Talk.
Oh,
it was
okay.
a TED Talk, and the lady was talking about, encouraging teachers. I went to our teachers PLC this particular week, and she was saying that, and she was just saying how she had to keep a towel in her drawer.
Yes,
and
it's unfortunate.
Come on, Johnny.
But it's a part. I guess it's a part of the teaching that we have to do, and I have had to tell children to go brush your teeth. I have had to ask children to, take their shirt off.
Stuff at school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take that shirt off and go get you another shirt because that shirt ain't right. And, for children who are in circumstances where they can't wash their own clothes, you take the clothes home, you wash them.
The teacher?
I would.
Oh, that's awesome.
Get them all downied up, bring it back.
So what's the feedback from the parents when you do that?
You know what? For the children that I've had to do that for, there was no feedback.
Because at the end of the day,
they don't care.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, I could see someone giving you feedback from that. Like, don't be.
I mean, one time we gave a kid a pair of gym shoes, and the grandmother got upset and told us not to do that. But the child never wore gym shoes to gym class, and she was failing gym class for the lack of no gym shoes. So we just said, okay, these are shoes we'll keep at school, and when you go to PE, wear these shoes. Because I just thought that was goofy. That was silly.
Monique said, hey.
Hey, Monique, what's going on, girl? So, yeah. Y'all take care of them babies' mouth. It's Children's Dental Health Month. It is also American Heart Month, and it is National Library Lovers Month.
You skipped by Heart Month.
I did not. I just
I'm
said.
saying, but you elaborate. It's Heart Month. Show love.
You elaborate.
Take care of your heart.
I elaborate on children's dental health. You can elaborate on heart.
American Heart Month is also very important, especially for those of us who suffer from blood pressure.
Yes.
So take your pills.
Take your
medicine. See your
medicine.
doctor. Maintain your stress.
Especially us African Americans.
Absolutely.
And it's not life is life, and we are definitely stressed. However, I think everybody deals with stress, but then sometimes we as Black people, we eat just some of the worst things. They're good, but not always good for us. So we have to take care of ourselves. We can't be clogging up our arteries with all that grease and fat and all the stuff that we just love. But
it tastes so good, but it's so bad for you.
Man, why would God do that? Okay. All right. We are going to, you all are listening to Let's Get Chatty with Jada and Marshawn on Intellectual Radio. Listen, if you have a comment, you want to call in, please, you can dial 708-223-8953. Get on the show with us. Tell us what you're thinking. We would love to have you. So now we are moving into a little bit of mental health and emotional well-being, trying to always keep ourselves grounded, feeling good, thinking well, and on a healthy path when it comes to our mental and emotional well-being. So today, let's talk about these 4 feelings that we have when our mental and emotional well-being could be at risk. What's the first one? Uh-oh. Somebody let out a real deep breath over here.
Because that's the first one, when you are overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Those feelings of being overwhelmed.
Yes.
What are some things we can do?
Take deep breaths.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for help. Name your feelings. Prioritize and pause. So when you say name your feelings,
mm-hmm.
What are you saying exactly for someone who may not understand what that means?
Because the idea of being overwhelmed, I think, is a mixture of things. It's a variety of things. So in being overwhelmed, what exactly is that, right? You want to target those feelings. So sometimes when we're overwhelmed, it's because we're feeling angry at someone. We are feeling frustrated with a situation or a person. We are feeling sad about something. And I think all of those, and sometimes we could be feeling all of those at once. And then that sense of being overwhelmed hits us. And it's like, whoa, I have all of these feelings and emotions going on right now. I can't deal with not one thing because I'm dealing with so much.
Right.
So it's that naming the feeling and sort of targeting that emotion.
So saying name your feelings, Monique said overwhelmed and high anxiety.
Right.
So when you're naming those feelings, and let's just say I name them to you, like Jada, I'm really angry right now, or I'm feeling like, and then let's just say you come back, hit me back with something like, being overwhelmed is to like have a lot on my plate, being stressed and wanting to give up.
Yeah, so when we're feeling overwhelmed, we're dealing with more than what we feel we can handle.
Right.
So target some of those feelings and emotions, right? The anger, wherever the anger is coming from. I feel like you have to deal with each one to be able to get past it. The frustration, the sadness, whatever it is. It's almost like prioritizing your feelings. What am I going to deal with first? Because you got to deal with something, and you can't deal with all of it at once. So what are you going to deal with first?
But realistically, I'm not saying that that's not realistic, but realistically, when a person is overwhelmed, what's the first thing they do? Snap, right? Most of the time. I'm just saying.
I think, but before you snap, which I agree, it's not the first. I don't agree that it's the first thing you do. I think that actually the snap is the last thing you do. Before you snap, there's a series of things that take place. There's things that happen before you get to the snap part that
you ain't going to take deep breaths and you're not going to ask for help. I'm just saying realistically, I'm just asking. I stopped on that one because especially feeling overwhelmed.
Now I'm looking at it as a build up over time. I feel like when we get to a point where we snap, especially women, because I feel like and maybe Black men, like I feel like sometimes we hold things in. And that's how we end up getting overwhelmed. Exactly.
And then that's why we
But that's a build up.
Right.
With most people. It's just something that it kind of slowly builds over time. And then we get to that point where we yell at somebody or we snap off or we do something that we can't take back. It becomes a regret. And if you retrace your steps or if you think back, it's because, it started months ago. But you didn't talk about it. You didn't ask anybody to help you figure it out. You didn't prioritize anything. You didn't. And so because you didn't take those steps toward getting better, it just got worse.
So, and I'm speaking on that because I know a lot of people who, may feel overwhelmed just like I do. Mm-hmm. So before you snap, you have to step back and handle each task accordingly. It's easy for y'all to say that, but when you're the person, what you have to do. Well, exactly. But that's those who have control, right? But let's just say those who are overwhelmed and they don't know what to do with these feelings because they don't even really realize that they're overwhelmed, and then they just, of course, after the snap,
they don't realize that they're overwhelmed.
Because some people, we think we Superwoman. We just said women happen to take over.
So that just means to me that your snapping point is going to be a lot worse than somebody else's that did realize they were overwhelmed and they started taking some steps.
Absolutely. But I'm just speaking for those who may not know that they're overwhelmed because a lot of people can be in denial. Like I've always been a person who felt like I could take over the world, take on the world. Mm-hmm. And then when I get into that when move any further. Like, oh my God, this is just like too much. But at what point do a lot of us, especially prideful people, they're not going to even admit that they're overwhelmed? Okay, I can handle it. I got it. Give me something else. Like Monique was saying, adding all these things on your plate, and then you want to give up. But you taking all this stuff on because everybody asking you, everybody pulling on you, everybody holding on you.
Well, we know the first step in those instances is you have to learn how to start saying no to people. Right?
She said, what will stop and go make you accomplish? It's not going to make you accomplish anything, but it's just your first reaction, because a lot of people use that as their first reaction, because everybody ain't going to say, you know what, this is just too much. I'm just going to fall back. I think that's the last reaction. That takes practice. It takes practice, though. It takes knowledge and being educated about that to do that.
And that's what we're doing.
Right now.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm just saying in people that don't hear this show or whatever, I'm just saying, or somebody maybe hearing this for the first time or hearing these steps, we're helping them. But I'm just saying, initially, like when I'm overwhelmed, I don't think that I snap. I don't even know. Because I'm steady trying to trying to save the world and add
I think
stuff.
what people do is they keep it inside.
Yeah.
They keep it inside. They don't want anyone to think that they're overwhelmed, and maybe they don't even want to admit that they're overwhelmed.
Right.
But there are signs, and there are things that you pay attention to, or that you choose to not pay attention to. But there are things that happen that I think are telling you. Your body will tell you. Other people around you will tell you. There are things that are happening along the way. Sometimes.
A lot of people ignore and treat people like they grown. I'm going to mind my business.
Well, okay. Friends, right? People that truly care about you.
Friends too, but I'm not talking about us. I'm just saying, I know some.
But I feel like when people truly care about you, they should be able to sense it. And you're right, they don't always, or they don't always acknowledge it. But there are things that are happening around you where you sense it and you can tell, all right, I'm getting to that point. Myself, my body tells me things hurt. My head hurts. My stomach hurts. Things hurt on me where I'm like, you know what? I need to slow down, or I need to figure this out, or I need to get rid of some things, or whatever the case may be. And that's how I start to know. And if I choose to ignore that, then historically, for me, I'm going to end up in somebody's hospital. Because that's just what has happened.
And me, somebody's jail. But moving on. Moving on.
All right. So, again, these four things, these four feelings that you have, you start to feel helpless. If you start to feel helpless, when you start to feel helpless, be gentle with yourself. You set clear and manageable goals. That goes back to being able to prioritize. Try something new. Stop doing the same old thing, expecting a new result. Try a new way.
She's saying nobody got bill money. I know, and that's why I'm digging deeper into this, because I'm the one that picked these topics, because I was feeling like that today. All four of these emotions, being transparent. So we're discussing them, but we didn't discuss them. We just put them in there. But I wanted to dig deeper in that, because without me even reading that, and of course, if I took time to think about it, but a lot of times I'm going through a big transitional phase, I'm going to say, in my life. And it's like I feel overwhelmed and I feel helpless. Did we name all the topics, or we just going one by one?
We got some more.
Right. So I feel helpless in a lot of situations. And to say be gentle with yourself, I'm really not hard on myself. Setting clear and manageable goals, like I can't even think that far. Trying something new.
You have to start there.
I know, but I'm just saying,
we
overwhelmed
with. But you have, so when you're feeling overwhelmed, at some point you have to stop.
Drop and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll. Stop and figure out what's the most important thing that I need to get handled right now. Because while we are piling things on our plate, even if you think about it, create the analogy of food. When you go to a buffet, You're putting all of these things on your plate because you tend to like all these different foods. You tend to like some of these things. But when we go to a buffet, are we putting ice cream on the plate where we got chicken? No, we're not. So now what we're doing is we're prioritizing the meal over the dessert because we know that we could probably, we can wait for the dessert. So prioritizing things in your life just like that. What's the chicken and what's the ice cream?
Okay, well, now that you broke it down like that, but yeah, because I don't be thinking about that. Like, literally, I be irrational. Like,
well, you can't be irrational.
Why are we doing this?
At some point, you have to rationalize it and make it make sense. We also sometimes have sometimes we can feel insecure about a lot of the things that we're doing or a lot of the things that are happening. And when we're doing that or when we're feeling that, one of the first things we need to do is think highly of ourselves, right? Listing some of our positive qualities, listing some of our strengths, knowing what we're good at, and making sure that we're building up our confidence when we're feeling insecure.
Well, yeah, I don't think that I would feel insecure on my own. I think in the situations, I feel like a person would be trying to make me feel insecure, like make me doubt myself or...
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But then you do have some people that are insecure.
Oh, of course. I was just speaking.
So they have to, and we're talking to those people that
Right.
feel the insecurity sometimes, that feel as though they're not good enough, that feel as though they won't succeed at a task or a job. Listing their positive qualities, their strengths. Keep kind company. So then that may tie into what you just said as far as we can't surround ourselves with people who are going to feed into our own insecurity, right? Those people who are going to try to ingrain those types of thoughts and ideas into us.
Right.
Challenge.
You while you're down.
Exactly. Challenge the negative thoughts that you have and do things to affirm your value.
Affirmations.
Absolutely.
You is kind.
You is smart.
You is smart. I forgot. And you is beautiful.
Yes. Affirm all the positive things.
Okay, I don't even remember that one. So anxious.
I do feel anxious sometimes.
I think that's what I was feeling today.
Yeah. And I definitely do verbalize my feelings. I shared with Marshawn before, like I will talk. So I get I have this recording app on my phone, and I will talk myself through a lot of things. Not saying that I'm giving myself the best advice all the time, but when I'm feeling anxious about something, when I'm feeling unsure, I will talk through it. So maybe I'm talking to God, but I'm just talking it out because sometimes I feel like people don't always have time to hear you. People don't always want to hear you. People sometimes get over you. So I talk to myself sometimes.
You over me?
Am I over you?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I don't get over people.
Okay.
But if you constantly talking about the same thing and I'm trying to help you move forward and you're not listening, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I think I may have before, but...
yeah, in one situation, but guys, is working on that. Being mindful.
Yes. Take walks. Today would have been a perfect day to take a walk, but I didn't have time. But take walks. Give yourself some positive distractions. I think a positive distraction could be defined as some type of hobby that you have, right? Something that you enjoy doing. Whether anybody else is doing it with you or not is not the case. So don't not do something because you say you don't have anyone to do it with you. But if you enjoy doing it, then it is a positive distraction that you can have from the rigmarole.
Cool. And having compassion for yourself?
Yes. It goes back to being gentle with yourself, being kind with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Have compassion for yourself and know that this is something that you will get through, whatever it is. So, look at how she all in her head about something right now. She is, y'all. So forgive her. But You are
How did you even
listening.
see that? I
Because-
was, but I wasn't even.
Because I know. You are listening to Let's Get Chatty with Jada and Marshawn on Intellectual Radio. Some of you have been commenting. We appreciate the interaction. Thank you so much. You can even call us at 708-223-8953. Let's get into this new segment that we have, Chat Mail. So, this is the part of the show where we share a letter, like a quick email that a listener has shared with us. We read it. We get your take on the topic as we discuss the topic. And so last week, that was our first one. That was our first time. We helped out who named themselves 50 and Frustrated. She was facing some challenges with dating. She was on the apps. We talked a little bit about that. We tried to help her out a little bit. Here is this week's letter. Marshawn, you want to read it?
Sure.
All right.
Dear Jada and Marshawn, I need to know why women are so aggressive these days. I am just a regular good guy looking for a regular good woman. But every woman I have met is coming across as very aggressive, demanding, and honestly cold. Maybe I am wanting something that no longer exists, but please help me understand. Are women nowadays just cold, or are there still some women out there with a soft, romantic side? Yeah.
Well, obviously,
Sincerely good guy looking for a good girl.
He hasn't ran into any if he's writing to us.
Where are you looking for these women
that's
at?
that's a good question.
Where are you looking for them at? Because everybody's not aggressive and, what do you say, aggressive and demanding. Demanding what? That you take care of them? Like, I mean, you didn't break it down, but...
I just feel like, I think women have started to, it's kind of like the boomerang effect, right? Like, it's coming back around where women probably felt this way about guys for a long time. Guys being cold and not affectionate and not caring. And so, it gets to a point where women are like, you know what? Fine. If that's how we doing it, let's do it. But I think the double standard comes in that when a woman does it, it's a problem. Now it's a problem. It looks a certain way because a woman is doing it. Now, again, he didn't share a whole lot, but I think that, when women are saying, no, I don't want a relationship. I want to, we can be friends with benefits, or we can do, like, when women are being blunt and honest, I don't think guys can take it.
Because basically, what does he mean by aggressive? Because basically, does he mean being up front,
Probably
being forward? Because at the end of the day, a closed mouth don't get fed, right?
And I think when women are more upfront and bold when it comes to their sexuality and what they want in the bedroom, I think the guys see that as aggressive too. Yeah, and that could be the case here too.
Yeah, because he's a regular good guy.
A regular good guy.
A regular good woman. What's that?
What's regular nowadays?
Exactly, because I don't know. I don't know what he's looking for. Gender role reversal. It's sad that women are aggressive and not womanly.
Right? So I think when guys use those terms towards us, I don't think women are doing anything too different from what men have done.
Well, we're not as submissive.
True.
As the Bible wants us to be, I would say, and a lot of women
see that the Bible.
Because a lot of I didn't mean I just said
no,
that,
I know
I'm
what you're saying.
Some people that's what it sounds like he's looking for, but
that's a whole nother show right there, being submissive,
right? Because we look at it like 50-50. I do it, and I'm not saying we, but a lot of people.
We are not men.
We are not men.
What does that mean, T? Tell me what you mean by we are not men. I think that women are now being more upfront, and I think they are to the point where they're like not chasing these guys anymore. They're not chasing guys. They're not bending over backwards to make sure that the guy's needs are met, to make sure that the guy is comfortable. Like, at what point are we able to reciprocate these things and find some type of middle ground where T might be find some type of middle ground. We have to find some type of middle ground.
Hello? This is Leslie
Hi.
Chatty. Hi. What's your name and what's your comment?
You know who this is. This is your girl C.
We knew who
I
it
knew
was.
it.
You knew who it was, right? So, Jada, to your question, what does that mean? I hear you saying that we're not doing anything that men aren't doing. That's the whole thing right there. We're not men. So what a man does, they'll make it good for a woman to do, right? We have always been the nurturers. It's a lot of aggressive women out here where they no longer nurturing. They want to be the homie.
Okay.
So it's a little different, and it shows up differently. Where when you have women that are nurturers, some men can't even appreciate that because they're like, what is this?
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Yeah, it shows up. I mean, I think we need to get back to being women and not, I can do what a man can do. I don't want to do what a man can do.
Right. So do you think that more women have just kind of turned cold, like our letter writer is saying?
They are. Like I do the speed dating, and I talk to different men and women, and it's like, wow. Some of the stories that I hear, it's like, are you serious right now? This is why you're single. Who wants to deal with, I can do as much as you can do. You ain't doing nothing that I ain't doing. You're not, nah. Yeah. Go ahead. You want to do that? You want to lift that party and trace it? Go right ahead.
So our letter writer asks, or our letter writer says, maybe I'm wanting something that no longer exists. You think these women are still out there, or you think more women need to kind of shift their thinking? Like, how can we help this man out?
We definitely are out here, but you have to, men have to be men as well. You can't expect some woman to be what you need her to be when you're not what you think she needs you to be.
Yeah, and that's I think, the problem. Yeah, I think that's what I was saying too. Like finding that middle ground where, and I don't think that the roles are so defined, but I think that when you're with a person, and we talked about this on some shows ago, but when you're with someone, you have to be able to connect with that person. So, I mean, I think we all probably enter relationships with a wall up or with our guard up, and that's rightfully so. But when you realize that this is someone you can trust, believe in, and love, then you got to bring the walls down, and you have to become vulnerable at some point.
Absolutely. You got to be, the space has to be there for you to be vulnerable.
Yes. You have to feel comfortable.
That's for men and women, you know.
I agree with that. I agree.
Thanks
for calling.
Good segment. The letters, I think that's a good segment.
Thank you. They coming in, so we're going to keep doing them until we don't get them no more. So.
And what's the...
Cool.
Thank you so much.
All
right.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So I think in helping this young man out and helping this guy out here, are women nowadays just cold, or are there still some women out there with a soft romantic side? Of course, there are still women out there with a soft romantic side. Now, what I will say, based off of the conversation that we just had with our caller T, and what we were saying before she called, the walls are up. The walls are up. So that means you have to do what you have to do. You meet someone that you like, you enjoy their company, you enjoy their companionship, you're going to have to do whatever it takes to get that wall down, you being vulnerable with them feeling comfortable enough to be vulnerable with you, and you all build that relationship based off of the truth and honesty that is who you are.
And a lot of these guys feel like, I'm not finna go through all that. It ain't even that serious.
Well, then they don't deserve.
Absolutely.
They don't deserve it. You got to do what you got to do. So, a little bit, we were talking a little bit more on some more content. This right here, we want you all to think about this one. You're not grown until. I wish that some of you would kind of finish that sentence for me. You are not grown until. We're going to leave y'all with that. I don't even want to read what we got. I want to see what other people say.
Okay.
And then we will share this on our next show.
Okay.
But think about it, you all. We can probably post it on our social media to kind of see what responses we get.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put that out there this week. We want you all to think about this statement and complete this statement. You're not grown until you know how to do what? So think about that. We're going to post it on our social media. We got a page. We want you all to follow it. We're going to put that out there this week. You're not grown until you know how to do what? And then we'll come back with that next week. I think that'll be very interesting. Also, let's talk about next week, handling infidelity.
Because that was coming from that. So if we'd have talked about that, then it would have tied into that.
So we can talk about that next week. All right, topic for next week. Also, we're going to take a look at forgiveness.
That was tying into it too, but we can talk about
We're gonna take a look at forgiveness. Are you a person who is easy to forgive? So can you forgive?
I was going to ask you those questions. Are you a person that's easy to forgive?
Am I? So that means that, so what you're asking is, will I forgive others?
Correct.
Do
you easily forgive people, or do you have to think about it? Like, is it a process for you, or
it's
you
a
just
process?
Like, you know what? Oh, okay, well, I forgive you, and then move on.
It's a process because I forgive, but I don't forget.
So, how do you move forward after that?
The way I move forward personally, Jada, is that I realize my own faults. And I look,
if you
I
didn't
look
do
to
anything
myself.
and this person just betrayed you?
And it may be that I didn't do anything to them, but I have done things. I look at everybody as being a human being who can be at fault at any time. So people make mistakes, but the best apology is changed behavior.
Right.
So you can tell me you're sorry. You can say the words, but I'm watching your actions from moving forward. I'm watching your actions, and I want you to be watching mine. I want you to care enough about me to watch mine as well, because I think that's how we hold each other accountable and not continue to hurt each other or betray one another.
Okay.
So that's me, but we can definitely get more into it next week. You want to move into these motivational quotes?
Sure.
All right.
There is always light, and there is always love. If we're brave enough to receive it, then only we're brave enough to be it. So be someone's light by showing them love.
Nice.
Because there's always light and there's always love. Just wanted to reiterate.
Is the light love? Is love the light? Is love that good thing that brightens up your life?
You have to be moving in love to be someone's light, absolutely.
Okay.
So if you're brave enough to receive it, then you're brave enough to be it.
Wow. Like that. Mine is simple. But it's simple but powerful. Your mouth can block your blessings. Know when to be quiet. And I think that, we have had to take a look at this probably multiple times throughout our lives, where we think I'm going to say something. I'm going to just go ahead and say something. I'm going to say something. And then, it could be that one thing you decide to say that could be what breaks the relationship or what causes even more angst. So being able to keep your mouth closed in the time where you want to say something the most, I think shows a great sign of strength and restraint. And it puts your faith back in God, knowing that God will handle it and I don't have to say anything.
Whew, I'm going to use that one to get me through this week.
So don't block your blessings.
Because it was revving up last week.
You want to say something, but that very thing you say, and you know, words are one of those things that once you say them, you can't take them back, right? Once they're said, they will always be remembered by someone. It doesn't even have to be the person that you said it to, but your words mean a lot. Words are very powerful, and I think that we have to be very, very strategic about the words that we're using and when we are deciding to use certain words.
Okay.
All right.
I'll keep that in mind this week. I
Please.
definitely will.
That's the motivation for the week, y'all. That's what we want you all to walk away with. That's what we want you all to carry with you until we are here again. So, we want to thank you so much. Thank you all. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, however you're watching, however you're listening. Thank you. Intellectual Radio. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining us on Let's Get Chatty with Jada and Marshawn. You can join us every Sunday live at 5 here on Intellectual Radio. Be sure to